Open the car door! Let me see your hands!
In a jaw-dropping twist, the killers behind Foolio's murder have been busted, and a new shocking video of the murder has gone viral. In this video, we're diving deep into the wild revelations, breaking down the shocking details that have everyone talking. You won't believe what we uncovered. Stay tuned. Footage of Foolio's killers. It's been 2 long months since the shocking murder of Foolio, and fans have been anxiously seeking answers. Well, the wait is finally over. On July 28th, Tampa police dropped a bombshell, releasing jaw-dropping surveillance footage that captures Foolio's killers in the act. The footage, taken from the shared parking lot of a Hilton and Holiday Inn in Tampa, was nothing short of chilling. It showed 3 individuals armed with a handgun and 2 rifles, moving stealthily toward the hotel. Their intentions were clear and deadly. The camera captured the suspects as they approached Foolio's car, which was parked outside the hotel. Then out of nowhere, the gunman opened fire, unleashing a hail of bullets at the vehicle. Foolio, seated in the right front passenger seat, tried to escape, but the relentless gunfire continued as the car attempted to flee. Their coordinated attack is brutal and unforgiving, leaving Foolio and 3 others in the car critically injured. The footage then showed the suspects fleeing the scene, but the damage was already done. The gunmen were later identified by the police as 21-year-old Elisa Andrews, 21-year-old Isaiah Chance, and 18-year-old Sean Gright. Tampa Police Chief Lee Burov later revealed that the suspects had meticulously planned the attack, using Foolio's social media posts to track his movements throughout the night. In case you haven't been keeping up with the hottest topic, Foolio was tragically killed on June 23, 2024, while celebrating his birthday. Just days before, on June 14th, Foolio hyped up his birthday plans on Instagram, posting, "Tampa, Florida, my Airbnb pool party, June 21st, DM me for address." And my official birthday party, June 22nd at Club Teaser. Club address, 9700 North Nebraska Avenue, Tampa, Florida. Pull up. This was already a red flag for fans, as it was unusual for Foolio to share his location so openly. Over the years, Foolio had racked up a lot of enemies, putting a massive target on his back. In 2021, he survived a wild attack where shooters fired about 100 bullets at him as he left a recording studio, escaping with just a graze to his leg. In July 2020, he got caught up in another shooting incident in Texas, further highlighting the dangerous world Foolio was navigating. One particularly terrifying incident saw Foolio seriously hurt, taking a gunshot wound and breaking multiple bones in his foot after being ambushed near a gas station close to Paxson School for Advanced Studies. Following surgeries at a Jacksonville hospital, Foolio filed a lawsuit against the hospital, accusing them of leaking his location. Given all these incidents, Foolio had been very cautious about sharing his location in the past, making his decision to openly share the address of his birthday party particularly shocking. On the day of his birthday, Foolio and his crew decided to celebrate in style by renting an Airbnb in Tampa for the weekend. Upon arriving at the Airbnb, Foolio made a critical mistake. He posted an open invitation on his Instagram story, inviting everyone to come through to his pool party.
Hey, the pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock.
The party inside the Airbnb lasted only 2 hours. Foolio shared videos of the party on his Instagram, showing drinks, women, and laughter. The atmosphere was electric, with everyone enjoying the festivities. But while the girls giggled and the drinks flowed, Foolio's ops were watching and planning. Just an hour into the celebration, the police showed up. The landlord had been tipped off about the wild gathering and decided to shut it down. Foolio and his crew were booted from the property, but the rapper didn't let that slow him down. Instead of laying low, he made another risky move. Foolio posted a flyer on Instagram for a nearby club where the party would continue, complete with the club's address, once again broadcasting his location to the world. According to the police, while Foolio was broadcasting his location, 2 of the suspects, Isaiah Chance Jr. and Alicia Andrews, were tracking him down. They followed him to multiple locations, using cell phones to coordinate their movements. Once Foolio made it to the nearby club, he continued to share updates, showing exactly where he was sitting inside the venue. This gave his ops ample time to plan their attack, knowing precisely where he would be and how many people he had with him. After the club, Foolio and his crew gathered in the parking lot while his manager scouted for a place to stay. They decided on a nearby Holiday Inn and headed over. As Foolio and his entourage arrived at the Holiday Inn, the suspects continued to track their movements. A second suspect vehicle arrived at each location they visited, ensuring that they were never out of sight. Once at the hotel, one of the suspects' vehicles drove by Foolio's parked car twice before they actually started shooting. This meticulous planning and execution of the attack suggests that this was not a random act of violence, but a premeditated murder. They were determined to kill him that day and would stop at nothing to do it. Following the murder, the police held a press conference to explain how they identified the suspects.
Detectives used footage from the scene, license plate readers, and phone logs to identify 2 vehicles and link them back to the suspects.
After linking the evidence to the suspects, the police moved in for the arrests. On a dreary, rain-covered afternoon, the SWAT team moved in to arrest Gathright. Body cam footage shows him standing with his hands up, cooperating with the officers as they handcuffed him.
Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Walk back to me.
Detectives turned to social media, where they found posts and messages linking Gathright to 2 other individuals, Alicia Andrews and Isaiah Chance Jr. Both had been seen with Gathright in the days leading up to the murder, and their social media activity suggested they were involved in the planning. The next target was Isaiah Chance Jr. Officers arrived at his residence during a heavy downpour, armed with large rifles. The tension was palpable as they stationed themselves around the property, ready to make the arrest. Chance was identified and instructed to comply with the officers' commands.
Get your hands up and walk toward me. Hands up and walk toward me. Hands up and walk toward me.
He held his arms out as he approached the officers, who had their weapons trained on him. Chance was instructed to get on the ground with his hands behind his back before being handcuffed and taken to a separate vehicle. Alicia Andrews was the final suspect to be apprehended. She exited the same location as Chance with her hands in the air and was immediately handcuffed. The pair were seen being taken into custody and booked at the station. Mugshots of all 3 suspects were later released by the sheriff's office. The charges against the arrested suspects were severe, reflecting the gravity of their actions. Alicia Andrews and Isaiah Chance Jr. were charged with premeditated first-degree murder with a firearm and conspiracy to commit premeditated first-degree murder with a firearm. These charges showed that the authorities believed the murder was not only planned, but also carried out with a clear intent to kill. Sean Gathright faced even more serious charges. He was hit with 2 counts of premeditated murder with a firearm, 3 counts of first-degree attempted premeditated murder with a firearm, and tampering with physical evidence. The additional charges of attempted murder suggested that Gathright was deeply involved in Foolio's death and also in the attempted murder of the 3 other individuals injured during the attack. However, the case is far from closed. Authorities are still hunting for Rashad Murphy and Davian Murphy. Both have been charged with first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. Warrants are out for their arrest, and the police are urging the public to come forward with any information that could lead to their capture. At the press conference, the police revealed that the arrested suspects were members of the notorious ATK gang and 1200.
The shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200.
The police also confirmed that Foolio's murder was directly linked to the ongoing feud in Jacksonville. While this revelation shocked many, those deeply entrenched in the hip-hop scene were already aware of the violent feud between rival gangs in the area, the gang war in Jacksonville. The streets of Jacksonville have been plagued by a brutal gang war that has left a trail of violence and loss. On one side, you have ATK, the gang allegedly involved in Foolio's murder. ATK, which stands for various acronyms like ACE's Top Killers, Aces to Kill, and Aim to Kill, is a powerful gang with members spread across both the east and west sides of Jacksonville. Unlike many gangs that originate from a single neighborhood, ATK is a coalition of several groups from different parts of the city. This diverse composition has made ATK a dominant force in Jacksonville's gang landscape. A key figure in ATK is rapper Young Gene Ace, whose real name is Keonta Bullard. Moving to Jacksonville, Florida at the age of 4, Ace faced a rough start. His father was murdered, leaving his mother to single-handedly raise him and his 11 siblings. They often found themselves in and out of shelters, struggling to survive. Despite these hardships, Ace discovered an outlet in music. He began rapping at 13 and burst onto the scene in 2018 with his debut single, No Witness. The track quickly gained traction, and subsequent releases solidified his place in the rap industry. Young Gene Ace has become the face of the gang, gaining notoriety not only for his music, but also for his involvement in the gang's activities. Other prominent members of ATK include Young 23, also known as RJ, Rollo, and Trey, Shorty. Another key figure is Queso, who, along with his brother Boss Goon and ATKY Breezy, are original members from Melvin Park. The 1200 crew from the east part of the city, including members like Corbin, Spinnabins, and Wappa with the Choppa, is also aligned with ATK. On the other side is KTA, which stands for Kill Them All. This alliance includes the gangs 6 Block, YNR, and Vonaland. KTA stems from an older gangster crew called PCE, or Problem Child Entertainment. PCE was well known to Jacksonville authorities and was hit with a RICO case on November 16, 2017. Despite the arrest of 10 gang members, new members quickly filled their rank. This is the gang that Foolio is reportedly affiliated with. Foolio was born and raised on the north side of Jacksonville, Florida. This area, while rich in history, is notorious for its high crime rates and socioeconomic challenges, including poverty, gang violence, drugs, and homelessness. dangerous. Growing up in such an environment undoubtedly shaped Foolio's experiences and influenced his music and career. From a young age, Foolio was exposed to the harsh realities of street life. By the time he was in 7th grade, Foolio had already obtained his first gun.
Bro, I got his first gun in 7th grade, 6th going to 7th, the Deuce 5, so after that, it was a wrap.
It was during this chaotic period that he reportedly became involved with the gang known as KTA. Other KTA members include Kojak, Zion Brown, Techie. The gang also include notable members from YNR like Rod K, Baby 9, Little 9, and Spodum Gotham. The beef between ATK and KTA popped off around 2017, sparked by a brutal robbery. Trey Shorty from ATK was allegedly robbed by a YNR member named Tony Cho. Looking to settle the score, Trey Shorty set his sights on a KTA member's house. This member, Zion Brown, also known as Tweaky Jit, became the target of Trey Shorty's revenge. In the early morning hours of May 27th, 2017, Trey Shorty busted into Zion's house and let off a barrage of bullets, hitting Zion and his 2 little sisters who were just 9 and 16. Zion didn't make it, but his sisters, against all odds, survived the attack. Trey Shorty was quickly arrested, charged, and ultimately sentenced to life in prison for the triple shooting. Although it's not clear if Youngeen Ace directly played a role in Zion's murder, the streets started buzzing. Folks began connecting the dots, especially after learning that Trey Shorty and Youngeen Ace were tight and had history. Back in 2016, the duo was involved in a robbery gone wrong. Trey tried to rob some weed dealers and ended up firing shots, barely missing a 12-month-old baby. Ace, who was the getaway driver, got caught up too. He did almost a year in jail and got hit with 31 months of probation. Youngeen Ace's link to Trey Shorty only fueled the beef with Foolio and KTA. This connection cranked up the tension, setting off a deadly chain of events and paybacks that kept the streets of Jacksonville on fire. KTA was out for blood, targeting Youngeen Ace and his brothers to avenge Zion Brown's death. Fast forward to June 5th, 2018, another tragic chapter in this brutal conflict unfolded. Youngeen Ace's blood brother, Trayvon Bullard, known as Quan Quan, had just graduated from Ridgeview High School in Clay County a week earlier. Adding to the celebration, their best friend, Royal Devin Smith Jr., known as 23, was celebrating his birthday that very day. Their close friend, Jacoby Groover, known as 4, was also part of their tight-knit crew. Despite the constant threat of gang violence hanging over them, they decided to celebrate.
On his birthday, I'm like, shit, bro, let's go do some, cause our life's so up. It's like you live or you die. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, let's go out eat, man. Man, we out here.
They chose to dine at the Wasabi Japanese restaurant in Jacksonville. The group arrived at the restaurant with friends and family, enjoying a night filled with laughter, good food, and positive energy. But the joy was short-lived. As they left the restaurant, their car was ambushed at a red light by KTA members who sprayed it with bullets. Youngeen Ace was hit 8 times, while 23, Quan Quan, and another friend were pronounced dead on the scene. Ace survived, but was later arrested in the hospital for violating his probation. After this brutal hit, Foolio and the KTA crew took disrespect to a whole new level on social media. Foolio and his squad pulled up at 23 LIS gravesite, posing for disrespectful photos. They took pics with their shoes on the grave marker, throwing up obscene gestures and mimicking guns with their hands, making the feud even hotter and more personal. Ace vowed revenge, and the beef became even deadlier. Only a month later, on July 21st, 2018, a well-respected KTA member named Trey D was shot dead by rival gang members at the Out East reunion. The alleged killers were thought to be 1,200 members, a gang affiliated with ATK. KTA was quick to retaliate, setting their sights on a prominent ATK member, Boss Goon, the brother of K-So. On January 5th, 2019, just 10 days before his death, Boss Goon posted a flyer on his Facebook for an upcoming performance at Paradise Gentlemen's Club on January 15th. The big night arrived, and Boss Goon showed up with his family and friends, ready to turn up. He took the stage, spitting bars and vibing with the crowd, looking happy and carefree. But just like Foolio, his enemies knew his location and had marked him for death. Around 2 a.m. on January 16th, Boss Goon and his crew left the club in a silver Chevy Tahoe with his father behind the wheel. They drove about 6 miles to Spring Park Road on Emerson Street in the Inglewood area of Jacksonville. Surveillance footage captured the horrifying moment. A silver SUV, followed by 2 cars, sped past and unleashed a hail of bullets. Boss Goon's father, knowing he had to act quickly to save his family, despite his own injuries, managed to drive the bullet-riddled SUV to the nearest hospital, Memorial Hospital. Unfortunately, at the hospital, Boss Goon succumbed to his injuries. Then, in February 2019, Foolio's brother Bibby, a 16-year-old from 6 Block, was shot dead by ATK members. Bibby's death hit Foolio hard, leading him to drop the track Bibby Story, which has racked up around 9 million views. In the song, Foolio talks about Bibby's struggles and his violent past, painting a vivid picture of the demons he faced. Following Bibby's death, ATK member K-So began taunting Foolio and Bibby's family on social media, even using Bibby's face on an album cover. This self-snitching eventually led to K-So's conviction for Bibby's murder murder 2 years later. The cycle of violence continued, claiming more lives from both sides. The beef between KTA and ATK seemed to quiet down a bit around 2022 and 2023, with many members focusing on music and making money. However, Foolio's death has reignited the feud, with the police confirming that the suspects were affiliated with ATK. Speculation has risen about whether Youngin Ace could be implicated. As the supposed face of ATK, Ace's actions in the days following Foolio's death have left many wondering if he might be next in the line of fire from law enforcement. While Youngin Ace might be arrested, just hours after Foolio's tragic murder, Youngin Ace dropped diss track, Do It. The timing alone was enough to raise eyebrows, but it was the song's content and its visuals that truly ignited the internet. In Do It, Youngin Ace delivers chilling lines about hunting down and finishing off his enemies, with lyrics that mirror the events at the Holiday Inn. The song's chorus is particularly provocative, with Ace appearing to order hits on his enemies, urging his crew to do it regardless of circumstances. In a boastful tone, Ace raps, I don't even call him by his name, I call them niggas lil do-its. Let's do it. Just call the phone, say they got the low, I told them do it, I ain't sparing shit. It's on site if we into it, come here. He with his baby do it, he with his bitch do it, with his mama do it, this money make a nigga do it, haha. Criminal lawyer Bruce Rivers believes that the explicit references in Youngin Ace's song, combined with its timely release, might be enough for prosecutors to connect Ace to Foolio's murder.
Did you hear what he just said? He said, fellas got the low, I told them to do it. Now, if they can link Young and Ace to any kind of case related to this is coming into evidence.
The first verse digs an even deeper hole for Ace, hinting that someone was about to get taken out. He starts with, 7 days a week, we run this bitch, we spinning any day this week. I bet a nigga come up missing, nigga better stay on point. What? He better not be out here slipping ag. Let's call his bitch. These bitches up in here. Yeah, that's true. Nigga be trying. Nigga be dying and shit. These ominous threats and warnings have been interpreted by many as a direct lead up to Foolio's murder. The backlash was swift. Fans and critics alike took to social media, slamming Youngin Ace for being insensitive and disrespectful. Many accused him of incriminating himself with such a release. One Twitter user wrote, congratulations, you just snitched on yourself, while another commented, you trying to invite yourself a Rico. Youngin Ace's music video for Do It also stirred controversy by depicting violent acts, including a scene where masked individuals ambush a man in a parking lot. Many viewers saw chilling parallels between the video and Foolio's real-life murder, interpreting it as more than just artistic expression. But this wasn't the only move by Youngin Ace that raised eyebrows. Just days after dropping Do It, Ace released another track called Game Over, further fanning the flames of controversy and suspicion. In Game Over, Ace raps, dead on the floor, dead on arrival, Mr. Six. I'm steady screaming out, F the law, F the Six. He's straight up calling out Foolio's crew, 6 Block, and referencing the way Foolio got taken out. Foolio was one of 4 people in the car when he got hit, and Ace's bars, 4 in the car and one of them dead, 3 got hit. I told them niggas they don't want no war with this shit. Sound like he's describing the real life ambush yet again. Ace doesn't stop there. He also declares, y'all know I smoke dead people, man. You know what I'm saying? And I smoke 6, huh? This explicit taunt leaves no room for doubt about his target. I smoke 6 directly references Foolio's crew, 6 Block, signaling that Ace is celebrating their losses and aiming his words at them with clear intent. All these lines seem like incriminating evidence the police could use, further blurring the line between music and real-life violence. Beyond the diss tracks, things took a turn for the worse for Youngin Ace on July 4th. A video surfaced online showing a man with his face partially covered by a ski mask and an orange beanie making a chilling confession.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the dead homies, bro. I put it on everything on my soul, on my kids, nigga. I'm the one that smacked Foolio that night when he got dropped at his birthday celebration, bro.
Not only did he boldly claim responsibility for killing Foolio, but he also made a shocking allegation. The masked man accused Youngin Ace of placing a $10,000 bounty on Foolio's head. Whether this man is among the suspects arrested in connection to Foolio's murder is yet to be seen, but things are looking grim for Youngin Ace and the ATK crew. In the coming days, more information is bound to come out about the suspects and just how deeply involved ATK really is. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.